Darian Kendrick moves on to the NFL. He had a big season coming in from Clemson, 4 picks. Set us up at cornerback.
So you got Kelee Ringo coming back as your main shutdown corner. Really excited to see what he's going to be able to do in his second full season. His first year at Georgia, he was suffering through like a shoulder injury, so he wasn't able to play at all. But he kind of burst onto the scene and really did a great job at preventing big plays. And if he did give up a big play, he used his speed to kind of run him down or whatever Georgia needed him to do. And then, of course, the pick six and him taking advantage of that moment as a redshirt freshman and being able to, run it back 79 yards, instant celebrity in Athens. We'll never have to pay for a drink or anything like that ever again. And that's kind of things that build confidence in a cornerback to carry him on. Like, a lot of people have like this second year slump, but I don't think Kelee Ringo is going to be one of those. I think he's going to take what he learned and grow from it. Georgia will have to replace Lewis Seen at the safety position, but you also have Chris Smith, who's coming back for a 6th year, kind of taking a COVID situation, which he probably could have declared for the NFL draft and gone as a free agent or even later in the rounds. I'm not sure that he would have been an early round guy, but Chris Smith is somebody that would have probably been taken. But I'm glad he came back because it gives another leadership in that depleted secondary. It's still thin. Georgia needs all of the guys that are on, playing in the secondary to be able to step up and play some kind of significant role this year because it's still probably the thinnest area in terms of depth on the defensive side of the ball because they've had a bunch of transfers go out and go on to other places. But one thing that I've noticed about Kirby is he's kind of transforming his recruiting, not in the sense of less 5 stars or fewer, whatever. It's more about finding the kids that are willing to put in the work right away, who understand that it takes time to become a starter in the SEC and aren't expecting, most of the reps as a true freshman. He wants guys that are okay with waiting their turn or working their tail off to get whatever they earn onto the field. And this group of 2022 signees is someone like that. You have Malachi Starks, who's going to be like a star. He's really, really impressive. Could play probably anywhere he wanted to on the field. He could play receiver or whatever, but I'm really excited to see him back there with Fran Brown, the new defensive backs coach. We slow down a little bit. And then you also have Ja'Cory Thomas, who is a safety that I'm really versatile. Can probably play corner if he needs to, but definitely going to use him as a safety because that's the one area Georgia will need more bodies at, losing Lewis Seen. And then you also have Dan Jackson, who's redshirt junior, not a scholarship player, but he's earned significant playing time because he stepped up when players were hurt last year. And he has the moxie and the passion for football that kind of like old school. You see the guys that not everybody would be, the ones that you're kind of surprised to see on the football field, and that's Dan Jackson. But he will knock your head off if you give him a chance to. He got to talk with the media, and he was just all he could talk about was the opportunity and taking advantage of that opportunity. And so I think he's going to be, even though he's not a scholarship guy, he's a leader, and he's kind of shown that you work hard enough, you're going to be somebody that gets put on the football field. You also got Javon Bullard, and he's a sophomore, kind of behind the last group of folks that have came in, and he's working his way up. You also have Kamari Lassiter, another one like that's kind of been around, waiting his turn, and he's going to get significant playing times this year, corner. And then you also have William Poole, who is a redshirt senior, who decided to also come back. And I can't forget about Tyke Smith, the transfer from West Virginia, who also decided to stick around Athens one more year. He's still rehabbing his ACL injury, but he's going to be somebody that's going to be able to hopefully be back for fall camp and give some significant reps for Georgia. A couple of the other mid-year guys like Dalen Everett, the once-time Clemson commit, he is somebody that's already getting praise, and a bunch of the practice reports have talked about how he is someone who's kind of breaking into the significant playing time, the ones that are going to go with the ones and the twos. And, the practice reports right now, they say ones and twos. That's just kind of where the media sees them at that specific time. That doesn't mean that is where they're going to be. But to see someone like Everett, who is a true freshman, come in and just kind of break his way into it, I predicted it a little bit. I've been doing a series on the 2022 signees and talking about how they fit into the team. if they have any opportunity to play this year or not. And he was somebody that I predicted that would break into the mold just because of his athletic ability. Having him on one end and Kelee Ringo on the others for your corners would produce two of the most aggressive and athletic. Georgia's going to have a great secondary once they get the depth that they need. They're just kind of young. You're going to have like a redshirt sophomore, and then you have the Chris Smith, Jackson, Poole, and Smith, but it's still really young and really don't need any injuries there for sure.